And we are live. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Friday edition of Free Daily Coaching. We are here Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Pacific. Mr. Burt Bledsoe does it Monday through Thursday with a different topic every day. On Fridays, I get to host. And this week, we are going to be interviewing Miss Leigh Ann Levy. Or is it Levy?
It's Levy.
Okay. We got that right now, anyway. So, everybody get their questions ready for Leigh Ann. She just came back from the Texas Mastermind. And I know that she's very active in her business. So, you might want to ask her some questions about that. And here we go. Good morning, Leigh Ann.
Good morning.
It's so good to have you on this week. And we've actually been trying to do this. We've actually been trying to do this for a while, I think. So I know that you go to a lot of events. You and I met last year in Vegas, which is always fun to meet somebody in person and get to know them a little bit. And so you go to a lot of events. What do you find most stimulating about the events?
I really like the and also I think I'm echoing a little bit.
Okay, I can mute while you talk.
All right. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoy the one-on-one meeting with with different people, and those conversations that you can't really get on a webinar or a training course and have the same sort of conversation. And when you're in person with them, that you really feel their energy, and it's just a great time. So that's what I enjoy most. The learning is great, and you get a lot of good information. But yeah, the meeting one-on-one is just second to none. So that's
yeah. There's nothing better than. And then when you get back on a webinar with someone, you feel a closeness to them.
Exactly.
Because you know how they really are. And you're right. You learn. People tell us stuff one-on-one that you don't get on a webinar.
Yep.
So you went to the Texas Mastermind. I know you went last year also. How different were the two of them?
It was quite different. The one, well, I'll just stick with this year's because that was the most transformational for me. There was a huge mindset component to this year's versus last year's, and it was just, I'm still like just on fire from it, and processing and things like that. All of what I've learned and implementing things in my business, and I just I feel like I'm a completely different person as a result. So
well, that's awesome. Those kind of breakthroughs don't happen very often.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm usually pretty mellow about events. Like, yeah, they were fun, but whatever. But this one was really just transformational for me personally, and so I'm just looking forward to seeing where I, as well as the other attendees, go from here.
Well, okay, let's start with Rob 4. What did Rob have to impart to us?
He did a bunch of mindset. So we bent some rebar. Me and Elizabeth Summers were actually quote unquote rebar buddies. So basically we were partnered with one other person, and we had to bend rebar together. And so that was transformational. And then we did some meditation with Rob 4 and also with Brian Finale. And just what else? The whole weekend was just, and then Rob, of course, did some SEO stuff. And that was awesome as well. So that was Rob 4.
That's a side of Rob that you don't see very often, the meditation mindset part.
Yeah. It was just, and I'm speechless because it was that transformational.
Wow. And let's see, Diane Hoffman was there.
Yep. She did some training. What did we do? She taught us about the 3 stages: the promotion, the personality, and the professional. I don't know if y'all ever heard that training, but she did that. And then she also threw in some mindset stuff there. And it was just amazing to get to see her as well. I always love Diana, and I'm sure you do as well. It was just, wow. So
Well, it sounds like
it's kind of unexplainable until you actually get that experience in person. That's another thing about live events. When you come back, you can't always explain adequately what happened at the event because it was that experiential. So, yeah.
wow. And Brian says that's the last one of the kind that they're going to do.
Well, what that means is that there still will be retreats. However, they'll look significantly different than in the past. But there still will be opportunities for people such as yourself, if you would like to, or anyone else, to go and be transformed, kind of like I was this weekend. So
It sounds like I missed a really good one this time.
well,
Things happen, right?
yeah. So, but you'll be at the one that you're supposed to be at. So don't feel bad.
Well, I'm going to the ranch next month.
Oh, good.
So I have a one.
That'll be fun.
For 3 days with Bert. So
that'll be fun.
I'm looking forward to it. Get into a little setting life here.
Very good.
I think most of the people that are on the webinar use the same platform that we use. How long have you been with My Lead System Pro? And if anybody on the webinar doesn't know what MLSP is, it's a base of operations that you can completely run any business out of. Isn't that true, Leigh Ann?
It is. It's quite versatile for any business model that you're in, whether you're involved in not really common things, but just things like real estate, or things that come to my mind first. Real estate. If you're a doctor, if you're a lawyer, all these different things, anything that would require you to market and attract that perfect prospect, MLSP can help you definitely do that in the most effective way possible. I've been around for about a little over 4 years now. So my loyalty is there, and I just can't say enough good things about it. So I'll stop here.
Yeah. So if anybody doesn't know what MLSP is, get back to the person that invited you, or hook up with someone and find out about the $10 trial that you can have. There's nothing like MLSP out there, as far as I can see. Are you married, Leigh Ann? I've never asked you that.
I am married.
How supportive is your husband of your online endeavors?
Oh my gosh, he is the most supportive husband I could ever ask for. He really, he's kind of my behind the scenes cheerleader, my graphic designer when I need him. He's always asking me, okay, you're on a webinar. Okay. He's very conscientious of the time spent, on my business. And so I just can't say enough good things about him either.
That's great. So many people don't have the support they need until they prove themselves, and then usually the spouse or significant other gets behind them. But sometimes it can be hard. So that is great that you have such a support system.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me about your day-to-day operations.
Well, I do a blog post or a video most days. My schedule kind of varies personally, so but that's kind of my goal is to do one piece of content and then meet people obviously, and then email my list or train so I can be more valuable to my list and really post just be a person of value and attract my perfect prospect. So that's kind of it kind of varies though.
Well, maybe I should ask you what kind of business you're building. Are you affiliate marketing? Are you in a company?
Yeah, so right now I'm strictly affiliate marketing, primarily marketing the attraction marketing system that you were just referring to. However, I'm an aspiring speaker and coach, so that's kind of my, I guess, back end product. So if someone wanted to be coached on marketing or life coaching or whatever, I could, I have that back. I have both of those backgrounds.
Great, that's awesome.
So I can go in either direction.
What do you have some favorite books that you can tell people that you read?
I love any kind like Tony Robbins, any kind of thing, any kind of success related thing. I've got books for days on every stretch of topic, all the way from spiritual stuff to personal development and everything in between. So Joe Dispenza, he's one of the speakers at Live the Dream. If you're going to that event, I don't adequately know what his title is or whatever, but he does meditation and things like that and transformational mindset stuff. So I read some of his stuff. Let's see, like I said, Tony Robbins. I just read a lot. So
that's great. Lynn asked a question out here in the chat. I don't know if you can see the chat.
I can't. So
he asked if you're a certified life coach.
I am. I took a training course, and so I am now certified. So if you need help, let me know.
I've never approached being a life coach. What kind of trainings do they have for that?
It's mostly how to have that coaching conversation. It's not necessarily, okay, tell this person that it's not specifics as far as the conversation. They just give you a concept and a structure to kind of go by for like how to ask questions and this kind of thing, so that you're not like they call it leading them, which means like you're not putting thoughts in their head. You're basically just having them come up with their own answers to help them self-empower themselves. That's kind of that was the training that I received.
That's awesome. It sounds like that's something that could also be very transformational.
Yeah, it is. That's a good skill to have. And so, if I'm coaching someone in marketing and I see a mindset hang up or something that would be blocking them and having them stand in their own way, I can kind of switch into my life coaching training and say, hey, and ask them, get their permission, of course, before I coach them. And then if they're open and willing to be coached, then I could also, have that conversation so that we can get that out of the way and then go back into the marketing.
That's awesome. So what platform to meet people are you using right now?
I primarily use Facebook. However, I am doing some big things on Twitter. I'm, getting followers. I'm posting content. So I kind of go between Twitter and Facebook.
Are you using what Adam's training for the Twitter?
Yes.
Debbie asks, what's the biggest thing you got that will you use that will change your business? Was it technical or mindset?
Hands down mindset. And that's different for every person. So and it's quite personal. So but like I said, it's just different for every person. So I would say, I mean, you can have all the technical stuff, but if you're blocked somewhere, then the technical stuff's not really going to help you move forward. It'll just be some really good information.
I agree. Mindset is the foundation of any business, but that and gratitude.
Exactly.
Roxanne asked, who or what would you recommend for mindset to dive into? I listen to Tony Robbins right now. Any others that you would recommend?
Joe Dispenza. You can Google him. He is just amazing. I haven't always been as consistent with the meditation with Mr. Dispenza or Dr. Dispenza, but I've now I'm now developing that habit more consistently, and it's already transforming my life. So I can't recommend him highly enough.
You know, it's really funny. Until the other night, I'd never heard of Joe Dispenza.
Yeah, he's an amazing guy. I plan to go to some of his personal events, so that's kind of where I'm headed next. But in that regard, but he is just I can't say enough about him either.
And let's see, I think you said this at the beginning, that he's going to be at Live the Dream 7, right?
That is correct. He is. I think he's going to do some meditation, so you will get a little taste of what his work is and what it looks like, and what it feels like, and then you can make the decision whether you want to pursue that further, or if that's what you're guided to.
Yeah, I'm in really deep to meditation. Lynn Mooney has on Saturday morning Dream with Lynn, and he's getting really deep into meditation and stuff. Lynn says you guys you're breaking up a little bit.
I'm breaking up.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how I can fix that, but I'll try to hold my microphone closer to me or something like that. Maybe that'll help that situation. And you're muted.
I got it. Roxanne said that she'd be really good for meditation then. Joe Dispenza.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are being funny out here now. It's Lynn's birthday, by the way.
Oh, happy birthday, Lynn. Hope you have a great day.
Oh, Lynn's going to try to get Dr. Dispenza on Dream with Lynn that he does on Saturdays.
Oh, wow. That would be amazing.
That would be great, wouldn't it?
It would be. I might have to drop in.
I'll remind you of it. It's at
good.
8:30 on Saturday mornings.
Oh, okay.
Pacific time. So, to wrap up a little bit here, I'm still blown away about Rob Four and mindset and meditation. I don't know why, because he's really a mellow guy to begin with.
Yeah. So yeah, he primarily does like the SEO and things like that. So you don't really see that side of him, but he has a whole another side that, spiritually speaking, that is just I don't know, top notch, second to none. Not really sure how else to describe it. You just have to kind of experience it. But he's not just SEO. Let's just put it like that.
Roxanne asked, what was your biggest takeaway from the retreat?
Wow. So my biggest takeaway is to be, as Diane says, be the tape. So what that means is that when you go to an event, you have an experience and you or to me, what that means is that you have an experience at an event, and then most of the time, what happens is you come home and you're on cloud nine for, I don't know, a day or two, and then what starts to happen is that the excitement and the emotion and the feelings that you feel from the event start to wear off, and then it's like, okay, now what? Well, if you are the tape, then, and the tape meaning like the mindset stuff, like if you listen, I think Diane was listening to like Jim Rohn cassette tapes, and so that's kind of where that reference came from. But if you are that tape for yourself, then the event being over or still going on, that kind of becomes irrelevant, because you are the tape, and you can kind of motivate your own self to do the work, to do the mindset stuff, to continue on in your business, and you don't have to have some external thing or event to propel you forward. And if that's not there, then you don't do anything. So it's kind of being your own tape propels you forward regardless of what's going on in your life and in your business.
Oh, that's an awesome idea. Yeah. You just think of that as being a promotional thing, but it's really not.
Yeah, when you become the tape for yourself, big things start to happen, and that means different things to different people. But that's kind of my takeaway there.
Well, if there are no more questions, I don't have any more questions. Do you have any questions for the audience?
I do not right now, but I just can't say enough to get to the live events. And if there's ever an opportunity to go to a retreat of any kind, the attraction marketing system or otherwise, the more intimate, the more one-on-one it is, the more transformative experience you'll have based on my experience. So I can't say enough to get to live events and meet people in person.
Roxanne did have one more question here. She asked, okay, what is the best way to acquire your vision?
What is the best way to acquire your vision? That I'm going to go back to the meditation thing, because you have to really get quiet and center yourself and really dive deep into what you want, and whatever. And I would say don't filter, which means like if your brain, like, okay, if you ask yourself a question, your brain, I heard this from a different mentor, your brain is designed to answer any question you ask it. So if you ask your brain, or you ask yourself, what is my vision? Who do I serve? What do I do? And who am I? If you ask yourself those three questions, who am I? Who do I serve? And what do I do? And whatever your brain gives you, whatever comes to your mind, don't, what I call, filter it. Don't think about it. Don't analyze it. Don't say, is this, don't question yourself. Just go with what you have, what you're given. And, your vision can change and evolve over time. So it's not like it's a one and done kind of thing. So you may come up with a vision today, and then several months later, several years later, whatever time that is for you, your vision changes and evolves, and that's perfectly okay. So I would just center myself and get real present, and ask myself, who am I? What do I do? And who do I serve? To answer that.
That's awesome. I've been meditating since the early 80s. And it's true. You can't filter what you receive, but you've got to write it down or you forget it.
Oh, of course. Yeah, definitely. I have what I call a brain dump journal. And so whatever comes to my head, I write it down, because you definitely will forget it. Like sometimes I'll forget to write things down, or think, oh yeah, I'll remember it, no big deal. And then, when I wake up the next morning, or, several hours later, I'm like, what was that? And so that's why it's very, very important to write it down, most definitely.
You don't know how many ideas I've lost because I didn't write it down.
Yep. Same boat.
Let's see. Junie Thomas asked if there's a specific length of time to meditate.
I'm going to recommend what Brian Finale recommends, and that is start with 10 minutes. And then if you feel guided to increase that time, then increase that time as and when you feel guided to do so. So, but 10 minutes is a good starting point.
I agree. I can go to an hour now, which is always.
But you probably didn't start out like that, correct?
No, you get fidgety and you got thoughts coming in from outside, and you can hear street noises and a dog bark, but pretty soon you can train your higher self to block that out, and you can get within yourself.
Definitely.
You can't give up though. You have to keep doing it.
Yep. And you get something every time you do it. So
there's also some very good guided meditations out there.
Yeah, if you search on YouTube, there's also some guided meditations and hypnosis and all kinds of things. The options are endless.
I use HoloSync. I don't know if you've ever heard of them.
I have.
I love HoloSync.
Yeah.
So Roxanne says she has a recorder by her bed so she can record her thoughts faster.
That works too.
Yes, it would, Roxanne. Well, Leigh Ann, you have been a delight to have, and I really appreciate you being so open with us.
Happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
I know. I can hear the passion in your voice, and I love that. So, if there are no other questions, I guess we're going to say goodbye for the day. You guys don't forget on Monday, Bert's back at 7 a.m. Pacific. And you go and sign up at www.freedailycoaching.com so that you get notified a month at a time, which is always nice. And thank you very much, Leigh Ann.
Thank you for having me again. I really appreciate the time here.
So you guys have a blessed weekend, and we will talk to you very soon. And yes, Roxanne, this will be recorded. I'll put it up on my fan page. Thank you everybody for coming. Like I say, have a blessed weekend, and I love you guys very much. Bye for now.